Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. My name is Kristen and this is Growing Zone 9B. So, oh yeah, look. My friend Amber, she hooked me up. She got me a cute little scrunchie. I just put it on top for the holidays. That was so sweet of her. So much love and gratitude goes out to my beautiful friend Amber, who always thinks of me and is so kind and so sweet and just is an amazing person. So she got me other stuff too, but I love my scrunchies and she hooked me up with several scrunchies. And then my friend Miss Carrie, I'll have to go out there and get it. I just brought it in the door. She got me a beautiful teapot because I drink a lot of tea, and it's a snowman. So I don't have one and I'm so excited. I will definitely show it to you guys. I'm really excited about that. So today I wanted to make a turkey because my Aunt Sharon's not feeling good. My parents are still working on the house. We just have a lot going on. And this turkey is like, I think it's 22 pounds. And so it will definitely feed a lot of people, and that's what I need. So I have a big roaster pan here, and that's normally how we make our turkeys. Now my brothers are really good. He's really good at smoking meat. And so oftentimes he does the smoking the meat. I love it, but I'm not as good as he is. He did get me a smoker. I just need more practice smoking meat. So I'm definitely working at that. So maybe we'll do a video on it one day because I can do it. I just feel like he's really mastered the craft. So I just wanted to show you guys how we do our turkeys if my brother's not smoking a turkey. So we get some broth. Usually it's Kirkland's, which is Costco brand. And I just use the whole thing. If not, we get some from Whole Foods. Whole Foods carries it as well. We definitely get organic. I will fill the entire pan with this. Now normally we cook this turkey, the setting is around like 325, and we let it kind of, I say slow cook for, obviously for as long as you need it to cook. This one will probably cook 3.5 to 4 hours at that temperature. Obviously we'll do an internal check and make sure that it's good, but yeah, I just wanted to show you guys the setup of this, and I think turkey's great because it just feeds a lot of people. So and we'll definitely need at least 2 boxes to 3 boxes of broth. So, and this is bone broth, which is really good for you. All right, so I like to take an onion, and I'm just gonna cut that onion up. And I just kind of leave it on the bottom in slices, just for flavor. And everybody does their food differently, so that's why it's kind of nice to just share what we do. The dishwasher's going, so it's dinging. We have an eggnog candle burning. It smells so nice. So here's my slice. I'm just gonna lay it down in the bottom of the pan. Again, it's just for flavor for us mostly, so it doesn't have to be perfect. All right, so I'm gonna bring the turkey over now and get it in the pan. All right, so it was kind of like a little bit of a disaster trying to get the turkey over here around the camera and whatnot. So, all right, I got it all over the floor. I had to clean it up. Like, what a mess. All right, so we have some butter. Underneath this skin here, what we're gonna do is just cut some pads of butter And like I said, everybody does their stuff differently. So just kind of like separate it. The skin between and the breastbone and the breast meat. All right, so that's been separated, and I slip a couple of pads of butter in there. It just kind of helps to keep the breast moist, because sometimes breasts can have a tendency to dry out. All right. And then we just have Pepperidge Farm stuffing. Now the difference between stuffing and dressing is stuffing you actually stuff into the bird, and dressing is outside of the bird. So you just gotta kind of push it in there. All right. And then I definitely put some broth in there. And now if you want, you can fill up this bottle. Oh, my nose. You can fill up this bottle and you can just put more water so that we can get water into the turkey, into the dressing. All right, so we just kind of want to fill that up. Make sure it's nice and moist. All right, and then it's optional, like you can add some garlic if you want to add some garlic over the top. I happen to have some rosemary. So these are fresh rosemary sprigs. So I'm literally just gonna lay that here. I just like the aroma that comes off of them. It just kind of like heightens the, the idea of eating turkey. Some people actually slip it underneath the breast, between the skin and the breast, but I think it's good to just have it in there. It just makes a, you can drop one down in the bottom, which is actually what I'll do now. Just drop it down in the bottom. We also have the cornbread one. A lot of people make their own actual like dressing or stuffing, but when I don't really have a ton of time, I mean, I could make it if I wanted to, but I don't. So we just use what is at the store. All right, and then you can add a little bit of some maple syrup to the top of it. Just gives it a nice sweet flavor. Again, your choice. You know, it's like some people put it on ham, some people put maple syrup on ham, so we like to put it on our turkey and give us a nice kind of sweet turkey. And that's it. So I will end up putting the lid on this and we will be good to go for our turkey. So like I said, about 3 or 4 hours from now, this turkey will be roasted. So, all right. So hopefully I'll get a chance to bring you guys back, but as I'm saying, we've always got stuff going on, and so we'll see what happens. But anyway, so I just wanted to share that with you guys, that we are actually in the process of making a turkey, and I plan on sharing it with my loved ones. So that's what I'm saying. If you have extra or you're able to help somebody, don't forget, this is the season for love and kindness and caring, and that season can never end. It's a choice. And so get out there, love one another, be kind, and you know, just treat people with a lot of love and respect. So all right, we've got other stuff that we have to get going on, so I'll bring you guys back. The magic of editing, right? So I'll bring you guys back and we'll see where we're at. All right, friends, so we got that turkey in the roaster and we are sitting outside because it's really nice outside today. We don't often get a lot of cool weather, so I am taking advantage of it. And that's what I say, you know, there's always stuff that needs to be done. And so look what we have. Luffa, Punky Doodle, chill out, baby girl. All right, so like I say, we always have stuff that we have to be doing, and so here is one of the beautiful loofah. Look how large this thing is. It's lovely. So I've shaken it and gotten all the seeds out, well, for the most part. there's always a couple of seeds left in here. I can kind of hear it rattling. Yeah, and you just, like one just flew out. But I just kind of tap it and try to get any of the seeds out of it. Now, if you go to Tarpon Springs and you go to the sponge docks, oftentimes this is what you are getting because it is a renewable resource. It is more sustainable than if you are actually harvesting it from the ocean, which I absolutely just don't recommend, especially when we can grow this. So this is antibacterial. It has antibacterial properties. It's good if you want to, you know, wash yourself, or you can wash dishes with it instead of using others types of sponges. So I often share these, not just the loofah themselves, but I share the seeds with my friends and family and loved ones and that are around here in my area, because it's super easy to grow. So for me, it's a little more easier, I should say. This year we got hit by that hurricane, so my harvest is definitely not, you know, what it once was. But I have an entire container full of these seeds, and this is a fairly large container, so that's what I said. Sometimes the squirrels will get a hold of it and they'll spread the seeds just all over the place. So what you do is, you can hear it, it's really like, oh, the seeds are just falling out because it's got a hole in the bottom of it. So I just tap this, try to get a lot of the seeds out. I don't know why I put the lid back on, but, and I just fill up my container with these seeds. And what you want to do is just kind of crack. See, it has these strings. And just pull the strings out and we check it out, and then we'll see. I should have brought a pair of scissors out here, because this makes quite a mess, honestly. I usually do it outside on the table, but since I knew I'd be recording the video. And you're just literally gonna peel this off, like, just crack it. Not too hard, you don't have to press too hard. And you just start peeling it. And the loofah will reveal itself. One year I actually made like soaps for everybody. I cut the loofah down and I made like soaps with loofah inside of it, which is really nice. That's what I'm saying, that's part of gaining sustainability for yourself. Is it's sometimes these little things that start to add up. Grow what you can grow, and you know, you don't have to go out necessarily and buy washcloths, or you know, you can make unique gifts for people, especially right at the holidays. And that's just kind of nice. Not everybody has the opportunity to grow, so you know, some people live in apartments or they live in a subdivision where they can't grow, and these just make really nice gifts for people. I think homemade gifts are the best. Because somebody really put a lot of time and effort into the gift. I mean, I'm a big cookbook girl. I love cookbooks. I love books in general. Like, I like to hold a book. I like to hold things in my hand. I'm not so much like reliant on the computer, although the computer's nice and it teaches us a lot of stuff, but sometimes it's just really great to have a book. Like, that way you kind of know you always have it. I had like a Kindle, and after a while the Kindle just didn't work anymore, and I lost all my books that I had ordered. So after that I was like, meh. If you hear people talking in the background, my neighbor is still having his pool done, so there's people in the background. But alright, there we have it. So like I said, it makes kind of like a little bit of a mess, as you can see on the table. It made quite a bit of mess. But here's the loofah. Now, the top part's not very good. I can see that now. So I'll just end up cutting that, but I just shake it and then the seeds will just start falling out, like they're just falling out on the table. So, and then when I'm done, I just take the seeds and put them in my container. So that's simple, that easy. It's really nice, like I said, like it makes really nice gifts for people, especially if you already know how to make soaps, or you can just give them away as like a little scrubby. Got it all over my black sweater. Be all right. The fun of gardening. So if you've never tried loofah before and you can grow loofah in your area, I highly recommend trying to grow some loofah. They just are a lot of fun to grow. You can keep the squirrels out of them. And like I said, it's just one more additional way of creating sustainability in your life, and you don't have to be dependent on going out there and getting yourself washcloths and stuff like that. You can actually use your loofah, and it just makes me proud to know that I actually grew these. So I have quite a few to get through today, so I'm going to be doing that because, you know, the holidays are very quickly approaching, and like I said, I'm running out of time, and I've got to get some of these gifts going. So, and people oftentimes ask me to grow them some loofah, and you know, give them loofah at the holidays. So again, here it is. It's super lovely. This one happens to be a giant one. Like I said, we would have had a ton more if it wouldn't have been for the hurricane. So anyway, get out there, get growing, get you some loofah. All right, the next thing that we have, I just wanted to share with you guys real quick, is I ordered some plants. I have 2 of them. I've learned now to buy in 2s. So these are magnolia bushes. Now these actually look like trees. I'm not gonna lie, like the leaves kind of indicate tree to me, but so I'm a little concerned about that. I did order these off of Etsy, and the person that I ordered them from, they had a really high rating. So I assume that they know what they're talking about. Although sometimes I have found that some people say that they're bushes and they really end up being trees. So I don't know. I'm kind of hesitant to actually now plant them here. I may end up taking them over to my parents' house. I personally love magnolia. I love the flowers. You can make infusions with the magnolia. You can do perfumes, your own perfumes. And I think something natural is, of course, better than something that you could get at the store. And I actually like to take the magnolia leaves. My neighbor has a magnolia tree, and that's really what these look like. And I go over to his house during this time of the year, and I get up on the ladder and I start taking his leaves and I make a really nice garland with them. So the flowers aren't blooming this time of the year, but the leaves are so broad and wide and beautiful that he lets me go over there and use them. And that's what I'm saying, natural is best. And so I haven't gotten around to getting the chance to do that yet, but obviously if I do, I will take you guys along with me, because I have this really beautiful little setup that I do. I have a candle that's like an electric candle, you know, like with batteries and stuff. It's just kind of flickers, doesn't catch anything on fire. And I usually just put that little like garland wreath type thing that I make with it. I just take some like brown string that you would just use out in the garden, or like twine more or less, and I just kind of like pop it through with a needle and just make this like beautiful little garland with it. So, you know, that's what I'm saying, think about alternative ways of like creating things and just using nature, because when I'm done with that, while it did take me some time, it is a peaceful thing to do, but at the same time, you know, I'm using Mother Earth and nature to decorate with, and I just think that that's really the type of season that we're in. I think we've lost that. We go and buy these like fake things. Like I obviously bought a fake tree this year because of Pumpkin, the new dog, but you know, just think about alternative ways. Like that's really how it was. Like pine cone decorating, like I have pine cones, I have decorated pine cones, I have some that we have displayed, and I've put like glitter and stuff around them, and really those I've kept through the years. I didn't have to give them back to Mother Earth. They're actually still doing very well. So pine cones last quite some time. So during this time of year, I mean, think about giving those types of gifts. I usually do stuff like that at work, and I do a lot of natural stuff and bring that into one of my jobs, and I just kind of decorate that way because it also at the same time gives a sense of peace, to be connected with nature. You know, when you think about the therapeutic component, having something fake versus having something real and tangible that you can touch, and it also brings out scents and aromas that we maybe sometimes don't get, and so it's a connective piece to earth that I think some of us are missing, and I think that we forget about. The simplicity of Christmas is so beautiful. I miss that kind of like era, Victorian, when you know, really we were just more at peace. Like it wasn't so much frou-frou and nonsense that you see today, and all this like, oh, I have to have 5 trees in my house with all these ornaments. Like, I have ornaments, but I don't ever put them on. Like, I don't think I've put ornaments on a tree in the last at least 20 years to 25 years, because I just like the simplicity of the tree itself. And while I know that that kind of falls into like a pagan component, I just think nature's beautiful to look at in general, and so that's why I do it. I just do it for the sense of nature and the sense of connection. And so I just want to encourage each and every one of you to go back to nature, start reconnecting, and just finding peace as we move forward into this next year. All right, so the turkey's about halfway through the cooking process. I'll take you guys over here so you can actually look at it. There's the girls, they're eating. They love their dry food, I don't get it. All right, ooh, I just steamed us up. All right, so there is the turkey. It's halfway finished cooking, so I at least wanted to give you guys that shot. You can see that it's staying super moist and delicious. So it'll start to kind of separate once it finishes kind of, you know, getting done. You'll see it start to split, and it'll, like, y'all can't smell it, but the smell will be like more intense and more fragrant. So, and we will love it. All right, so I'm gonna make an apple pie. My dad wants an apple pie, so obviously I'm using the gluten-free pie crust. I say obviously because that's just my easy, quick go-to. And I'm gonna go ahead and use the frozen apples because that's what I have right now in the house. So what I do when I'm using the frozen apples is, let me put this back in the freezer so I can save it for our next apple pie. All right, so what I do is I pre-bake the pie shell, because basically I'm just gonna give this a quick like cook for the actual apple pie itself, because I want everything to basically be pre-cooked, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and cook the topping is ultimately what I'm really doing, because the apples themselves are gonna be cooked. So here's the apples. It's the Granny Smith apples. I just, like, they've been thawing, so they're not in, they kind of get oxidized when that happens. Which your apples turn brown anyway, so at least they're fresh because they came from North Carolina. I'm just going to go ahead and dump them, including the juice. Wow, that's a lot of apples. If there's apples left over, I'll just add them to pancakes or something. Because yeah, that's gonna be too much for our pie shell, I can tell you that right now. All right, so basically I just kind of I kind of like my apples like a little crunchy, so I just want to go ahead and add all my flavors that I like. I add a little bit of salt, we have the ginger, so I'm gonna go ahead and add some cinnamon, not ginger. We need to add ginger. A heavy kind of coat that was cinnamon. I like cinnamon. All right, ginger. I'm gonna go ahead and add that. Ginger's so good for us. Pumpkin loves to bark. She's my new barker. Clove. Clove's good for healing, antibiotic, basically. All right, and I'm going to be adding tapioca flour. I'm using the organic tapioca flour from Anthony's. Now I am going to heavy coat this. I'm at least doing like a half a cup of, well, maybe not a half, let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna do a half a cup of tapioca flour because I really want this to get kind of, the juices to get caramelized and basically cooked in this pan. And to me, tapioca flour has a more smoother consistency than like other types of agents that are gonna make it like congeal, like arrowroot and stuff like that. Like you can use those types of things, but or cornstarch, that type of stuff. So, and like I said, if there's apples that are basically not going to fit in this pie shell after the pie shell's cooked, then I'll just use it on pancakes tomorrow or something. I forgot a little bit of sugar. All right, so some people use brown sugar, but I'm just gonna use, I'd say that's almost a half a cup of sugar. Because remember our topping, I'm gonna do the white topping like I did on the cherry pie. If you go back and watch the cherry pie video, I think I shot a video on cherry pie. Yeah, I did. I'm gonna use the white topping, not the brown topping. The brown topping is just basically where you use like a cup of flour with like a half a cup of butter versus you put in a little bit of brown sugar. But for the cherry pie, I did the organic cane sugar that we get. So basically I'm gonna let this cook. I don't want the apples to get too mushy, so I may end up pulling the apples out, and then I'm gonna continue to reduce the juices that come from this, and it'll make like almost like a caramelization for it. And honestly, for me, I would just leave it at that and I wouldn't do the topping, but because my dad wants it, he loves the apple pies with the crumbled topping, so we're gonna go ahead and do that. But yeah, so the oven's on, and so here we go. We're gonna make this apple pie. At least I feel better that we have some fruit in our life, like even if it is coated with sugar. So all right, I'll bring you guys back as soon as I get this reduced. All right, so I have mixed up all the apples, and I wanted to show you what they look like. And here is basically, let's see if we can get some, like, do you see it's like, it's very like it's thickened up. See, it's like sticking. And that's kind of how I like it. So there was plenty of apples left over. That was one of the large suck-and seals that I had done. See? It really has like, I'll kind of explain it to you. So if you've ever eaten an apple pie at McDonald's, it kind of has that little bit of consistency, like that thickness to it. And so I personally like that, especially when I'm using the frozen apples. So I need a little bit of like something to congeal it. So I just went ahead and I melted some butter. Here's my flour. I'm just gonna toss this in. I just got the flour all over here. Hold on, I'll bring you guys down. All right, so I got it all over the counter, but a little bit of sugar, All right, and then I'm just gonna mix it in. And you just want a crumbly topping. My neighbor is, oh, getting this everywhere, is shooting off fireworks. So the dogs are going crazy. They hate fireworks. All right, so you see it's kind of like a white topping, whereas if you add the brown sugar, it's obviously gonna be brown. All right, so that's not too hot. And then basically just take this mixture and just kind of crumble it on top, because really this is all we're trying to do is cook this. So you do have to treat frozen apples a little bit differently than you would treat fresh apples. I have done a fresh apple pie with you guys. But this is what you need to do if you're gonna go ahead or you're using frozen fruit, is to remember, to me, I add a little bit of that tapioca flour because I want the wetness to congeal, and oftentimes I bake it all ahead of time just so I make sure it gets the right consistency that I am actually looking for. So there it is. Now you can tint this, but I don't, and I'm just gonna pop it back in the oven. It's set at 350, and I'm just gonna cook that for maybe about 20-25 minutes. Okay, so you're just really trying to get this topping done. You're not like continuing to cook this. And like I said, I'll use this over some pancakes or something like that. So now I got to get this area all cleaned up, and there you go. So we'll pop this in. Look at that, it's so beautiful. And we'll be having some apple pie soon. All right, so the pie just came out of the oven, and that's what it looks like. See, it's got that nice golden top to it, as opposed to you know, the little bit browner top, but it's beautiful. Everything looks like it's cooked perfectly. So the turkey is ready. All right, there you go. So remember I said it would start to pull away, and that's exactly what has happened. So the other side looks that way. It's pulled away from the carcass, and so it's like starting to just like open up, and then all the stuffing is beautiful. So if you wanted a little more golden brown, you can just cook this part a little more, but these legs are definitely done, and this is good to go. And the broth itself has turned a different color. Now my dogs like the gizzards and the liver and the heart, so I put them over here for the dogs to consume. But there you go, a beautiful golden turkey. I love this roaster. All right, so that basically wraps up our day today. So as always, I am so grateful that you guys have joined me today. I have some other stuff that I have made. I made some bread and some sweet potato casserole. I'm still pulling sweet potatoes out of the garden, which is a beautiful thing. So what a blessing it is to be able to just put food on the table and know that it is fresh and lovely, and you know, just to spend time with one another is such a blessing and an important thing to do. So as always, my friends, love one another, be kind. I will see you guys in my next video.